Okay, so this is continuation of our way of personalization or extension class. So now what we'd like to discuss is, like last time we just saw like the basic level of personalization as well as how do we migrate also. What we do is like we'll see some more personalization information, like what all we can do using personalization. Okay, so as we discussed earlier also, personalization is for the purpose of changing the UI level functionality, UI level attributes, as well as using personalization we can add item as well as region also. For region it is through the maybe like using shared region, but generally add items most of the times it can you can add the items, okay, using personalization. So we'll just see in the initial way of adding the item. Okay, let's see how do we add up the item first. So as usual, like whenever we are trying to change anything on the personalization, I mean on a page, always have a note of the page name or page path. So we are in the requisition summary page. Requisition summary, procurement. Click on return to. So now what we would like to do is, let us say we would like to add up a button, okay, or maybe a text input box. So just to for the purpose of, like how do we add up, okay. So let's click on personalize, okay. So if you observe here, we have a search button, right? Search button is at the top right corner. I hope it's part of a page button bar, right? You can observe that. Click on complete view, and now just try search button. Maybe that could be shared region. Some I hope. Yeah, page status it is telling. Row layout. Let us go back first. Click on back. Return to application. Yeah. So here we don't have any personalized personalized link on above this one, right? So so hopefully that this particular button should be part of this one only, and here it is not part of page button bar, because if it is part of page button bar it would have shown twice, right? It is not showing twice. Yeah, so it means that it's not part of a page button bar, so it's kind of a layout. They just tried it, maybe cell format, right align or something like that. Click on personalize. Let us try again. We just want to show the button at the same level, like a beside the search. So let's see. Or other easier way to find out is get the XML. We can easily identify that, right? Expand all. Click on expand all always. Okay. Yeah, I think this is the one, right? Euro spacer go button, and then after that they have cell format, right? If you observe cell format, right? So now I'll just click on create item. Okay, at the cell format level, click on create item. Now we can add up the buttons, we can add up the items using personalization at site level only. Okay, there is no other level. So now let's say I'll click on button. So when you click on button, the properties will get changed based on the item style. Generally the properties will get changed. XX new submit button. Okay, for the submit button, what all we have? The ID as well as the prompt. And for this one, you cannot add up the event at this level. So we can add up the button using personalization, but we cannot add up the event using personalization. We have to again do the CO extension to, like to make this particular button active. I mean to say, like if even if you click on a button, nothing will happen, right? Generally for the button, you should have the event, then you have to then you have to have the business logic also, right? So
So is this not the submit button screen that we generally have?
yeah, so using personalization, you will not have submit button. We just have only button option.
Okay.
Okay. So click on apply. So click on return to. So I think we have not chosen the right place. This go is part of here actually. It came here.
Okay.
So we thought I
Okay.
was thinking this is the one, but anyway. So now we just added up the button, right? So next thing is, let us say you want to add up some business logic for this one. So as we know that like we cannot do any business logic with using personalization. The only option is extension. Okay. So we'll just park for some time, then we'll add up the business logic also. Now,
Okay.
so when we created a button, so remember everything will get affected in the MDS layer, right?
Yeah.
Right? That we have a clarity. Now also one more
J.
thing, yeah. So maybe it seems a unique one, so we can try,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So our page is requisition summary page. So site level requisition summary, just observe this. Yeah, this is one, right?
Okay.
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 So site level will have our component somewhere here.
Exit new button. Yeah. Row number 16.
Yeah. We can also observe that if you want to have only that information, what we can do is attribute comp underscore sequence and observe here. So here one more thing what we can do is, let us say, how do we know the component sequence is 3? Why we have mentioned that one is here. If you observe JDR components comp underscore doc id, we may not have this one, right? And can you see the OA button level? What is it? What is the level? Component sequence.
Oh,
Component level, it
oh,
is 3, right? That's how it will be there.
oh,
So
okay.
on this particular level only, it will get displayed in the appropriate way. Like why it is displaying at this position is because of the level. Like you may have the page layout, then you have the header, then you have one more region. That's how they will identify.
Okay.
Okay, so let's add up one more button, one text input box, then we'll write up the extension logic. So using personalization, like so far if you understand, mostly you can add up, you can do most of the UI level stuff. If you want to add up the business logic or any conditional logic, then CO extension is the only way. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
personalize, complete view, and expand all. So we added our component at this level, right? Cell format. So I'll just add up one more thing at this level only. The components added using personalization, you'll have a delete option also for them. For others, you'll not have delete option.
Oh,
And click on create item. message text input.
Okay.
So for this text input, generally you'll have the same thing like a prompt,
Okay.
and you'll also have a data type, right? So we can ignore them as of now.
Okay. So Sri, this one is input box, right? So if you want to use message style text and if you want to populate data from the Vivo,
Yeah,
then
that is also possible. Now what we can
okay.
do is, let us say if that is a thing, let us say I'll choose message style text. Okay. Now what I want to do is I just want to populate the data into this particular component using CO extension. Okay.
Okay. So can't we directly populate it from the Vivo, Sri?
Now we can do it.
Okay.
Now if you want to if you want to mention the Vivo, but first of all you have to find out the appropriate Vivo, and that's how we have to do it, right?
Okay.
The normal logic, how do we set it? Yes, that will work. You'll have an option here. If you observe, let
Okay.
me scroll down. You'll have an option for the Vivo instance and Vivo attribute. So if you know the Vivo instance and Vivo attribute of this particular page, then we can easily mention that.
Okay. So if we have a table region, right? And
Okay.
if we add one more column, um, let's say we have the EMP table region and we add one more column,
Hmm.
then in that case we can we do the CY extension or the view extension is better?
Yeah, I see. Like, you mean to say like you have a table region, you want to show extra column in that. So the basic thing is
Yeah.
the extra column which you want in that, the value which you want to show, if that column is already available in the query, then personalization is enough. But the value which you want to
Okay.
show in that latest column, if that is not available in the select query, then you have to go for Vivo extension.
Okay.
Or yeah,
Oh.
like your question is correct. I'll tell you. The other way also is that there is a other option is using a personalization. Okay, on the table region,
Mm-hmm.
you add a column. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but the problem is when you add a column in the table region, it always tells you that it requires some information. I mean to say like you cannot just add a column in the table region directly until unless you have the Vivo instance and Vivo attribute, page will not work.
Okay.
That is a bigger problem. So maybe what we can do is don't add the column using personalization. Using CO extension on the table region, we can add a column
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
then set the value on this particular one. Like nothing but you have to have a PL SQL query or something prepared statement, get the value for each
No.
column, read each record in the Vivo, and then set the value. So we have to, what we have to do is, first of all, using like before in the CO extension, for the given Vivo, we have to add an attribute at runtime, add attribute dynamically, this first thing, and then we have
Okay.
to set this particular attribute to the table region. Okay. Of course, like
Okay.
once you add up the attribute, make sure that you also set the values for this attribute,
Okay.
and then
And
you need,
CO.
yeah, then set the attribute using this one. This is for the purpose of like rather than going for Vivo extension, we just going the CO extension approach.
Okay. Okay.
Because in some cases the Vivo extension generally may not work, so we'll be trying with different alternatives actually.
Okay. Okay. So if we do a Vivo extension 3, then can we do a combination of Vivo extension and personalization to add the column?
That's what we have to do it. So generally what we do is when we do Vivo extension, first the purpose of Vivo extension is to add a new column, right? Add a new column. So
Oh,
once you have done the Vivo extension and once you perform the substitution and then bounce the server, what will happen is the latest Vivo will be shown in the page. The latest Vivo which we have done, that will be shown in the page.
okay.
So that then if the latest Vivo is shown in the page, you'll have the new column there. So that's how we, like, what we do is we'll just simply personalize and that's it. The latest value will be shown in the page.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
now,
Yeah. Okay.
so where are we? Yeah. So these are style text, right? These are new button. These are style text. Okay. So first of all,
Okay.
I have to note those items. Yeah, style text ID I have it, and also button I need to have it. Sorry. So I'll need to click on, maybe let me try about this page. Yeah, so here you cannot get the IDs of these pages, IDs of the component. Okay, that's a bigger problem. When you click on
Okay.
about this page, you cannot get the IDs. Okay, what you get is the labels. So now let us say
Okay.
what I can do is I can just go here, right? So this is my button, new button ID,
Okay.
right? And here I can just remove this one component. Yeah, maybe I will get one more record, I guess, this time. Yeah, I got this one also, right? Style text one.
Yeah.
So I just got the button, the component IDs. Now what I want to do is I just want
Oh,
to do, like for this button, I want to set the event, and for the other one, I want to set the value at runtime using CO extension. Okay.
okay. Yeah.
So what is our page path? Yeah, this is our page path, and we have to know the CO, right? CO information.
Mm-hmm.
So generally the CO is also available at the web UI path, or else what we can do is, so can I get the CO name from the JDR tables? Can I get the CO name? Where attribute name like OA controller, that's it. Or maybe controller, I think small. Or I'll have another options here. What I can do is and attribute value like percentile web UI. That's it. Can you see?
Okay.
So, but this is not my CO, right? This page name actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So let me try here. Okay. So get the XML controller, right?
Controller class.
Yeah, this one, right? Controller class. So the attribute name, like here we searched it, right? So this attribute name generally, I can attribute name. Strange. I'll just say order by 2. Why it is not having CO information? Hey, we are seeing JDR attributes. Yeah, correct only. You can see.
And the doc ID should be C, another doc ID is C.
And one more thing, if you observe this particular one, the issue is we are seeing the information of only the personalized page. That's the issue. I have to see the main page,
Okay.
isn't it? I have to see the requisition summary page. I have to see this.
Yeah.
That was the issue. So now, if you just see this one, okay. So yeah, can you see the control class,
Yeah. C.
right?
Somebody.
This,
Oh, yeah.
this
Yeah.
attribute name, is equivalent to the XML content, so it does not need to remember much.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, just use of the JDR attributes like effectively. That's what I was thought of showing you. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So now the next thing is, if you want to extend any of the existing CO, first of all, you have to have the seeded CO. Nothing but you have to have the class file of that one. Okay.
Okay.
So I have
Mm-hmm.
to go to Java top now, Oracle Labs, right? And what is that path? Oracle Labs ICXPOR. Okay. So now left side also, I'll just Jdo home, Jdo. So go to my classes. Now in this path, so always make a note of the path. So I mean, maintain the package structure, Oracle apps. So I can copy directly ICX, but generally that will take time, right? So better copy like this. ICX I created. Next POR. Then I can just simply copy the REQ management folder total.
Okay.
Okay. So only thing
Yeah.
is maintain the hierarchy. That's what I was trying to tell you.
Okay.
Now in the requisition management in the web UI, we'll have the appropriate CO. So what is that CO? The C1 is requisition summary CO.
Okay.
Requisition summary CO class. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Now let's note this information. This is our CO name. So now for the CO extension, the things are, first of all, we have to get the seeded class file that we got it. Get the seeded class files and copy to my classes. Next thing is
Okay.
create a new Java file based on the seeded CO. So the thing is existing, like I mean to say seeded CO is this one, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
new extended CO will be generally the what is the package structure we follow is we'll follow our client name XX, right? XX I'll just follow with XXCNSI followed by
Mm-hmm.
same thing again. I'll just follow everything as same and just the
Okay.
file name as EX1.
Okay.
Okay. So in this one, if you observe
Mm-hmm.
what is my package structure, my package structure is this one, right?
Okay.
And my file name is this one.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see.
Yeah.
So either you can create a new workspace project or you can just continue in the same existing workspace project. So
Okay.
in this one, I'll just create new. You will not have an option called new controller. What you will have is just new Java class. Okay. In the general,
Okay.
select new Java class. Yep. Here mention the class name, package name, and extension. There are three properties we have to set it. So first thing is our class name. Next thing is package name. And here you have an option called extends. Let us say if you forget also not a problem, but better always mention during creation itself.
Okay.
And now here we have to mention the extends property. In the extends property, we have to mention the seeded CO name. So even what you can do is let us just click on browse once and here just type your class name. It has to show this one. If it shows this particular class name here, it means that we have copied properly to my classes. If it is not available, it will not
Okay.
show at this place.
Okay.
Now just click on OK. So this is just a Java file, okay? That's the reason what will happen is it will not even have any of the PR or PFR methods, okay?
Okay.
So we have
Mm-hmm.
to create them manually.
Okay.
So we can just copy from any of our existing CVOs. We does not need to do any by heart kind of thing. We simply copy from the existing CVOs.
Okay.
So this is PR method, and the same way we call the PFR method. Okay. So now when you are working on a CO extension, generally like if at all if you want to debug, because you cannot run any page, any of these particular component from the G developer. Only thing is you can just compile and we have to move to the server. But how do you debug it? How do you debug the CO extensions on the server? So we have a concept called diagnostics, like similar to our SOP. So we just write them
Okay.
page context dot write diagnostics. So we have three parameters, okay? In this one, I'll just say enter PR method and so we have different levels. We'll generally go with statement level. Okay.
Okay.
So these diagnostics will be printed on the page.
Okay.
Now the next thing is we want to add up the values, right? So what is our components? Where are the component? Yeah. The first thing is style text ID. So what I want to do is I just want to get the username. page context dot get username, right? Now,
A message
yeah.
style text.
Okay, so always check the value, check this particular bean ID not equal to null, because by mistake, let us say if you mention different name or something happened or somebody deleted the personalization, you should not get null pointer exception, right? So that's the reason, always check the null condition for this one.
So what will be the value, Sri, in this case?
So generally, if you have the object available, it will just have the object information. If it is not, then it will have a null, right?
So this one is string, right?
Which is
Oh, this is
string?
a bean. Bean is not equal. Okay, okay. Yeah, this is object. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bean instance. You can just print the value also. You'll know that. Now,
Okay, okay.
sometimes, like what will happen is like you just want to know why the if condition is getting passed or failed. What you can do is just check this particular bean value also, so you can understand that it generally print the bean information.
Okay. This one is to eliminate a null pointer exception, right? Not equal to null.
Yes, yes. And now the
Okay.
same way, let us say we can add up the logic for the button. So what we can do is we have to use OA button. It is not submit button, OA button we have to use it. OA button pin.
Okay. Mhm.
So I mentioned the button ideas like this, but
Should we write that in process form request, Sri?
you need to set the event, right? So as of now, for this particular button, by default you will not have any event. So during
Oh,
page load only we have to set the event so that you can handle in the PFR.
okay, okay, got it.
Don't you see set event? Oh, set event we have for submit button, but for this one, OA button bean, right? I think set fire action will have it. Yeah, set fire action for submit. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so set fire action for submit. Based on this, we have to get this one. So here,
What
like,
is the first
yeah,
address?
no, this is our event name. Okay, this is our event name.
Event name.
So now I'll just say XX button event or
Okay.
event name. Or else what we can try to do is I'll show you one more thing. Now let us say if you want to create a new component dynamically, so I can just use this logic. I want to create a submit button dynamically. We can just follow this approach also. So in this one, what it will do is we are getting the bean first of all, page context dot get web bean factory. Okay, then we're setting the value. So we are creating a component here. If you observe, create web bean.
Okay.
Okay.
Why
Uh,
is it strike out, Sri?
you meant to say this one? Yeah, it's tracked out. Sometimes what will happen is like if at all if any of the API gets depreciated, if it is something is no longer supported, then you'll have the strike out. So instead of that, we generally you need to
Oh,
use any other alternative, because sometimes it will depreciate the older stuff and then it will try to introduce a new one also.
okay, okay.
Yeah, but it will still support the like the existing ones also. It's not that
Okay.
it will not support, it will support them. Okay.
No.
Yeah, let's try this one. The only option you have is just compile, no running. Yeah, we got some issue. It says if you observe POR base UMFL, it is referring to something which is not relevant in our scenario. If you observe, it is saying that POR base CO MPL not found in this particular one, not found in the RM base CO. It means that, so here while compiling it is getting error, but if you see there is nowhere you can see the red color stuff, right? There's nowhere you can see the red color error. What could be the reason is it is referring to some dependent files which are not available in the my classes. So the best thing is go to POR. Here also go to POR level. So it'll just move everything. Okay. Or else if we can strictly find out that particular class, we can just move only that information also. Or else the worst option is you don't compile from your developer, take the Java file to the server and compile from there. That is the next option. Yeah, now can you see? 0 errors.
Okay. So where did we add this button tree? We set the ID, we set the node name, event and text, right?
This button will get added up to the web bean, nothing but to the page at the page layout level itself. Because if you observe here, web bean dot index add index tail. So web bean is nothing but your parent bean, right? The top level bean. So it simply adds up, like it will just add up the component so that it will be shown in the down directly.
Okay. So if you want to add in a particular region, then we can do that also, right?
Yeah, if you want to add up to a region, then get the region instance, and then in the region, you just mention region, your region instance dot add index tail, so that it will add up the item to the specific region.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So now next thing is we have to move our class file to the server. So go to my classes. Now xxcnsi. Yeah. Now move this to server. xxcnsi arkill labs acx viewer. Okay. Now we got the class file here. Next thing is let's do personalization on this one. Click on personalize. Okay, we got some issue. Yeah, null pointer exception, create child list. It's not because of our code or something. Maybe it's an Oracle code issue itself. Let's try again. Click on requisition. Click on personalize. Okay. Now click on personalize. We would need to extend at the page layout level, right? So click on personalize for at the page layout level.
Okay.
Right, and you can observe the existing CO also, Oracle Apps, ICX, PO, Requisition stuff, and we can set the control at 3 levels: site, organization, as well as responsibility. So now in our case, what is our CO? Yeah, this is our CO. Full path.
Yeah.
We have to mention the full path of this one.
Okay.
So I'll just mention here. Perform tab out. Now can you see? XX CNSI Oracle Apps, this one. Okay. Click on apply. So go back. Click on return to. Okay. Now can you see the value operations?
Operations, yeah.
And also maybe the button, the new button. The new button which we added using CO extension is getting shown here, and the existing button, this is where it is getting shown. I think we added the event, but we have not written any logic in the PFR, right? So, anyways, so as of now, what you can do is just click on diagnostics, show log on screen, and go with the statement level, because here we have mentioned while writing the diagnostics, we mentioned statement, right? So that's the reason I'm going with statement level, and just click on go. Now click on requisition page again. Yes, now we have to see our diagnostics. So what is the thing we have written here? This one, right?
Yeah.
Can you see?
Okay.
Right? And what it is printing? It just prints something in here. OA message, style text, local name is equal to message style text. That's it.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is printing on the same page, see?
Yes, it will print within the same page on the down. After the page, it will display like this.
Printing all that. Okay.
So these diagnostics are very much important when you're working in a CO extension. because without diagnostics, we really don't know, right, what is happening, what are the parameters. Now let us say you want to assume that you want to get a parameter here, but you don't know what is the parameter name. The easy way is just enable this one. There is an option, like somewhere you'll have an option called parameters, and it will share, it will mention the parameter name, those all stuff also.
Okay.
Right, let us say now, what is the thing we want to do is we want to add up the logic in the PFR. Then what should we do?
Okay.
We need to write the logic in the PFR, right? But one basic thing, if you remember, if you change the Java file, I have to bounce the server, isn't it?
Okay.
So
But
generally,
first time you did not do that,
yeah,
actually?
yeah. First time, if you're moving your file for the first time, there is no need to bounce, okay? But if you're moving the same file the next time, then you have to bounce.
Okay.
Because like even it's not that if you're moving the same file again, if at all if your existing program is already executed by your Apache server, then you know, like you always need to move the latest file. Then only it will pick the latest file. Else it will always call from the cache.
Okay. Can we clear the cache CSV?
No, like for this one, the only way to clear cache is like stop and start the server. There is no other way.
Oh, okay, okay.
And other thing is, if it is 12.2 environment, I mean to say if it is WebLogic server, even if it is a new file, you have to bounce it. There is no other way.
Okay, okay.
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 Then now what we do is, I don't want to bounce the server. Then what I can do is, I'll try to have a new file, okay? Because anyway, like our logic is not yet finished. So what I can do is, I can just have a new file. I just saved it as ex2, and here also I'll change it to ex2. That's it. Now, then I can write my logic in the PFR. So generally, like till design time, we always try to have a different file names. Once everything is okay, then we'll have the proper file name. Then that's it. That's how we can, you know, try to migrate the latest file.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now,
Event params.
yeah, correct. So now this is our button event, right? This is our button event.
Yeah. It's going to start.
Coding wise, everything is same. The way we have been coding our normal custom logic, everything will be same. There's no other extra logic in the extension part.
Yeah.
Personalization can be done by the normal developers also, but you know, if they have to do extension, they have to extensively understand the framework. Then only they can do it.
Okay, okay.
Because until unless if you know what is a button, what is a component, what is the event, it's very difficult, right?
Yes.
So I'll just say, and we can also throw something. Right?
Okay.
And the same way you can handle the other one also, the event for this one, the same thing.
Okay.
I'll just say submit button.
Okay.
So just compile now, rebuild, move the latest file to server. And one more thing, one basic thing is here, what is the super dot process request or super dot process form request? In this one, if you observe, in the process request method, we are calling the parent first, and then we are writing our custom logic, okay? And in the PFR method, if you observe, the best thing is always, first of all, you know, like sometimes let us say you want to do your custom logic, then if you want to do your standard logic, then what you have to do is always make this super
Okay.
dot process form request at last. So that first of all, it will call your custom logic, and then it will call the serial logic. Let's say that, you know, like on a button event of the requisition, let us say click on approve button. Assume that like you have a button called maybe search. Let us say before, like when you click on a search, it will call the seeded logic first, right? So then what you want to do is, let us say you want to call your custom logic, then the seeded logic. What you have to do is call the PFR method at last and then write your logic first.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's only difference. But in the PR method, always call the PR method first, super.pr method first. The reason is it will call the initialization logic, right? Let us say it may call the initialization logic for the Vivo or other purpose. So if you don't call that one, your page will collapse.
Okay, okay.
Now let's move our file, xxensi Oracle apps, and move the latest, this one. That's it. Next thing is, again, perform the personalization. Click on personalize.
Okay.
Now here again, try here, click on personalize. So here just change the class file name, ex2, tab out, right, ex2, and apply. Click on return to application. Right, yeah, let's try. I'll just click on this button. Right, user clicked on button.
Okay.
And we can try for the other one also. User clicked on submit button.
Okay.
Right. So this is how we can end up. Technically, logic wise, everything is same. The only difference is finding out the component, handling them is a major problem. Now let us say, like here, what we want to do is, let us say you don't want to allow the user operation to click on search.
Okay.
So then, the only option is you have to go for CO extension. So first of all, you have to know what is a button ID, right? Let us say, we'll see that. Now, so we got the page XML, right? So now where is that particular search button? So we could not find initially, but let's see. Yeah, can you see it is okay? There is some more layout. There is another kind of, the layout called page status. This is a part of page status, I guess. No, not page status. Okay. Yeah, I hope that's part of page status only. So it is extending this region, right? Get the information from here.
Okay.
Because if it is part of a normal page button bar, then it should have the other thing, right? It should be displayed twice.
Yeah.
Okay, slash. exe print document. Anything mistake? Yeah. Yeah, can you see it's now submit button?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So this is part of this region. That's the reason we could not see in the personalization.
Okay. 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 So Sri, this is when we are doing personalization, we are moving the Java class file to the server, right? What if we build our own new pages? Like we had this in JDeveloper, right?
Okay.
We had the XML files, then we had the AM and also the CO files. So how do we move those to the server, Sri? When we build new pages?
See, if it is a custom page, so in the custom page, what are the components you'll have it if you consider the MVC layer kind of concept? So the CO should be moved to Java top, right?
Yeah.
And all the files which are there in the model layer should be moved to Java top, right? And the view layer, PG or regions, they should be moved to MDS.
Yes. Okay.
This is what you have to remember.
Okay. How do we move those files from JDeveloper to MDS?
This is for the we have to execute the import command, right? Import. Did we not discuss?
Oh. Yeah, we discussed yesterday the import export only, right? Okay. Okay.
No,
yeah, I got it. See.
No, not Not this import, like, I mean, did we discuss the page registration or we missed it?
No, we haven't discussed it. We discussed the moving of personalization yesterday.
No, not this, not yesterday, but before, long back. I think after mini project we discussed, right? How do you migrate the page to the server?
No, Steve, we haven't discussed this.
Oh, strange. I okay, maybe I forgot or I'm not sure. Yeah, but the thing is, like, you have to move this particular file, the model layer and the CO files to Java top, and the page as well as the region files to MDS. So, like, as you said, like, we just need to go to this one, like, C. So here we have a command call in the JDow bin, cd bin. Di. Can you see a command called import?
Okay, yeah,
Right?
import dot bat.
Yeah, so just you'll have an example also here. We does not need to remember anything here. Simply just, so the concept here is, for this import command, you just need to know the page path, your database information.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it'll automatically move it to the MDS then in that case.
Yeah. Sorry, not copy. Okay. Yeah. Now can you see? Yeah, this is example. So if you observe
Okay.
here, import JDow this one and mention the page name, okay, and the root directory. So root directory will point to till my projects. Root directory is nothing but you just mention the path till you my projects. So in our case, JDow, see my projects. This will become a root path till my projects.
Okay.
And user ID is not required, so ignore that. Just simply remove it. And
Okay.
root package is not required. Username is apps and password is also apps. And now mention the host name glo.dev.com 1521 and vis. And this
Okay.
total command should be in a single line.
Okay.
Okay, now in the import, what we have to mention, let us say if you want to upload any of our custom page web UI, let us say AOL component page. So I just mention AOL component page like this. Okay,
Okay.
and then copy the command. Now run from the command prompt here. That's it. So if it imports successfully, then yeah, okay. So I think I have not changed the path of this one, right? This should be your page path. Okay.
Okay.
So if it imports successfully, it says that importing file, okay, and it tells you the page path also, right? CNSI or collapse like this. So once it imports, like once you get the result like this, it means that your page got successfully imported into this particular path. So now we need to register the page, right? You have to register the page as a AOL function. So
Okay.
in the AOL function, you have to mention oa.jsp question mark page is equal to like this.
Okay. So with this, no package structures will be created, right, Steve, with the name CNSI in the database.
It will create. It will create. If you observe,
uh,
I actually I uploaded some pages. If you observe here, JDR paths where path underscore name is equal to CNSI. Can you see? This is the package level.
okay. Okay.
And if you observe here, path owner doc ID is 0, right? I'll show you the hierarchy also. Now you will have this total hierarchy available in the server, like starting from CNSI to web UI. Observe here.
Okay.
So this is very interesting one actually. Now my doc ID for the CNSI, the doc ID is this one, right? So for the next level of the component, for the CNSI, after that you'll have Oracle, right? So if you observe, I'll just pass path.
Become owner.
Yeah, right. That's right. It's a like kind of recursive, what you call, I don't remember that. Yeah. Can you see?
Okay.
And the name is Oracle. And if you try again, it goes on. It goes on till web UI.
Hierarchical.
Yeah, hierarchical stuff. It goes on. Now apps. So this way
Okay.
you'll
Okay.
create 5 directories, right?
Okay.
Now it came FND, now then web UI. Now here comes the important part. If you observe, now this is 6, right? Now you'll get all the pages which are having this one. So I uploaded these many pages of our CNSI in the server.
Okay.
I uploaded all the pages actually recently.
Okay. Okay.
So 28, yeah, 28 pages.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so once you register the page, the next thing is just creation of AOL function and assign the function to the menu.
Okay.
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 Yeah, so now in this case, if you observe, like if at all, if you want to handle the search button, now let us say for the operation user, you don't want to allow to run on search stuff. What we can do is, or maybe let us say you want to just, rather than stopping him, you just want to you want to do some particular logic there. What I can do is, if page context, first of all, I have to save it as a new file, right?
Yeah.
Because the existing compiler, existing CO, we require bounds. I'll just say else if page context is not equal to null, and just say, I'll just write diagnostics rather than stopping it, because operation user is the one which is used frequently, so I don't want to disturb that. User clicked on search button. Okay,
Okay.
now rebuild, move the file to server. You got the latest class file. Now perform
Okay.
personalization, click on personalize. Now third one, tab out, click on apply. So click on back. So don't click on browser back, okay? Always go with the OAF navigations only.
Okay.
Okay. Now, yeah. So what we wrote, user clicked on search button, okay? Just click on search and just try to search user. Can you see? Our
Yeah.
class name also, it is getting shown, right? XXCNSI, requisition summary, this one, enter PFR method, like this all stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll stop here, and in the next session we'll discuss some more samples, either in the CO extension or maybe the VO extension. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Sri.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Sri.